Some caves are dark and mysterious, hiding secrets deep within their walls. Others are breathtakingly beautiful. Today, we journey through some of the most fascinating and mysterious caves around the world. One sea cave is known for its strange echoes, where crashing waves create haunting sounds. While another glows with an almost magical light. But first, let's visit a cave where water has carved stunning patterns into the stone. Marble caves. While there are many natural wonders in the world, some locations appear to have been impacted by pure magic. One of these, called Marble Caves, is tucked away in Chile, where rock and water have combined for centuries to produce something genuinely amazing. The Marble Caves are a complex network of tunnels, arches, and pillars that are found along the shores of General Carrera Lake. They aren't ordinary rock formations, though. These caves are made of marble, formed by a slow but powerful process. Over millions of years, water from the lake flowed through calcium-rich rocks. It shaped smooth surfaces and winding passages. This place's story started long before humans existed. Around 200 million years ago, during the Jurassic period, the Andes Mountains began to rise. Shifts deep within the earth caused this movement. Over time, rivers and melting glaciers eroded the high peaks. They left sediment and calcium carbonate deposits in present-day General Carrera Lake. This sediment turned into limestone. Limestone is a rock made mostly of calcium carbonate from the remains of tiny sea creatures. As more pressure and time passed, the limestone transformed into marble. It was this marble, already millions of years old, that met the persistent waters of the lake. The result was a landscape so unique that people journey from all over the world just to experience it. The beauty of the marble caves lies in their shapes and their colors. The marble ranges from pure white to shades of blue, green, and even soft yellow. Minerals like copper and iron mix into the rock to produce these colors. Sunlight strikes the lake and bounces through the water. It reflects off the marble walls, creating an ever-changing light show. The effect is mesmerizing, with colors changing depending on the time of day and the weather. For centuries, the people living near General Carrera Lake have appreciated this marble. They have even used it in some of their buildings, adding a touch of natural beauty to their homes. Presently, there is a stronger focus on protecting the caves. Tourists are encouraged to visit responsibly so that the cave remains preserved for future generations. Now, in a different part of the world, the walls of another cave hold secrets painted not by nature, but by the hands of people who lived thousands of years ago. Chauvet Cave. Deep in the hills of southern France is a cave unlike any other. It had been hidden for thousands of years, and within it are secrets from a time long before cities, roads, or even written language. This is the Chauvet Cave, a vast underground system that holds ancient artwork created by people who lived long. What is inside isn't just old, it is extraordinary, showing us how early humans saw their world. The Chauvet Cave, which is named after one of its discoverers, is 400 meters long. It is filled with chambers that were once home to ancient communities. For thousands of years, though, the cave was closed off from the outside world. Its entrance collapsed about 20,000 years ago, leaving its secrets buried. It remained this way until 1994, when 3 explorers decided to investigate the area. Jean-Marie Chauvet, Eliette Brunel, and Christian Hilaire weren't professional scientists, but they loved exploring caves. While searching nearby, they noticed air escaping from what looked like a solid rock wall. For experienced cavers, this was an obvious indication of a hidden cavern. With some effort, they broke through the barrier and stepped into a world no one had seen for thousands of years. What they found was more than just an empty cave. It was an ancient art gallery. Covering the walls were hundreds of detailed paintings, some of which were over 30,000 years old. The discovery was astonishing, and it wasn't just due to the age of the art, but also because of its quality. These were masterpieces. The artists who worked in Chauvet Cave had methods that were surprisingly advanced for their time. First, they prepared their canvas. They carefully scraped the walls of the cave clean, removing fungi, mold, and other imperfections. This left a smooth surface that reflected torchlight beautifully, creating the perfect backdrop for their work. This level of preparation shows that they weren't just scribbling for fun. They planned their art with care and intention. Once the walls were ready, they used natural materials like charcoal and ochre to create their images. Some paintings were made with brushes or fingers, while others used stencils and tools that sprayed paint onto the surface. After the colors were applied, many artists took it a step further. They etched fine details into the stone, outlining their figures and adding depth. In the light of a torch, the images seemed to come alive, creating an almost three-dimensional effect. The paintings themselves are incredible, both for their detail and variety. Most of them depict animals, with over 400 figures identified so far. These include horses, bison, deer, and other creatures still familiar to us today. But there are also animals that have long since disappeared, like mammoths and cave lions. A few images are more abstract, including strange red dots and two mysterious figures that seem to be part human, part animal. What these paintings tell us about the people who made them is open to interpretation. Were they recording the animals they hunted, honoring the creatures they shared their world with? Or were these paintings part of some spiritual or cultural tradition? We may never know for sure, but one thing is clear. These early artists were very skilled and thoughtful. Somewhere far from France, another underground wonder lies waiting. It's a place where beauty and mystery meet once again. Orda Cave. Not far from the village of Orda, in Russia's Perm Krai, there is a place that feels like it's from another world. What seems like an ordinary landscape above hides an underwater labyrinth stretching over 5 kilometers, a place few have seen, but many dream of exploring. This is Orda Cave, a natural wonder carved from ancient rock and submerged in icy waters. For years, only locals knew about this hidden marvel. It wasn't until 1969 that the cave was first mentioned in scientific writing, but serious research didn't start until the 1990s. That's when explorers mapped its above-water corridors and uncovered its history. They found that Orda Cave formed over 250 million years ago. The process was slow but magical. Water dissolved the soft gypsum rock, creating tunnels and chambers. Over time, dissolved minerals crystallized into strange shapes. The entrance isn't what you would expect for such a massive cave system. It is a funnel-like opening on the southeastern side of Kazakovskaya Mountain. While not enormous, just 5 meters wide and 2 meters high, it serves as a portal to what lies ahead. First, you will step into the above-water grottos. The Crystal Palace sparkles with reflections, but the Ice Palace is perhaps more memorable. It's the largest grotto in the cave, with a 7-meter-high ceiling and a floor littered with icy fragments. The scene is beautiful, yet dangerous, as rockfalls are frequent. It's a place where you feel awe and caution in equal measure. Beneath the grottos are hidden lakes leading to the underwater portion of the cave. In one of these lakes, there is a small passage just 3 meters deep that descends into the submerged maze. It's incredibly narrow. Only one scuba diver can squeeze through at a time. Beyond this entry lies an underwater world that's both eerie and enchanting. Galleries branch out in every direction, with names honoring the hometowns of the divers who first explored them. The Moscow Passage is particularly impressive. At 935 meters, it is the longest flooded tunnel in Russia. What makes Orda Cave so special isn't just its size, but its beauty. The walls are pure white gypsum, glowing against the deep blue water. It feels like stepping into a dream. The stillness of the underwater galleries is both calming and haunting. It's no wonder divers from all over the world come here, not just for the adrenaline rush, but to experience something so rare and surreal. If you thought Orda Cave was amazing, how about a cave where the ocean's sounds seem to make music? Fingal's Cave. There is something truly unique about Fingal's Cave. It is the kind of spot that seems like it should be in a myth or a story. However, it is completely real. It's located on Staffa Island, an island that has more to offer than what you first see. This cave is just one of several sea caves spreading out in the region. Fingal's Cave has existed for millions of years, over 50 million to be exact. The story of how this cave came to be is quite the tale. It was created from the same lava flow which shaped the Giant's Causeway up in Northern Ireland. When the molten rock cooled and hardened, it turned into hexagonal basalt columns. These columns stacked together like a giant puzzle. These columns make up the walls of the cave, forming sharp geometric shapes that almost look so perfect. And although it seems like something made by humans, it is actually all natural. Standing at 72 feet in height and 270 feet deep, the cave isn't just big. It feels like stepping into another world. The way the rocks are arranged makes it easy to walk inside. The waves have done their part too, carving out the cave over thousands of years. Each storm and crash of water has helped sculpt the cave into what it is today. But what really sets Fingal's Cave apart isn't just how it looks, it is how it sounds. The acoustics in this cave are top-notch. When waves hit those basalt columns, the echo creates a sound like no other. It's almost like you are hearing music playing in the background. It is so unique that the cave's Gaelic name, Uambin, means Cave of Melody. This sound has inspired people for generations. Felix Mendelssohn, the composer, is without a doubt one of the most well-known visitors. He came to the cave in 1829, and he was so impressed by its sound that he attempted to recreate the experience by composing the Hebrides Overture. Many other creators and writers were also inspired from there, most probably because of the unique combination of sound and beauty. How Fingal's Cave manages to merge everything is what makes it so hard to forget. When you leave, it's the kind of place that stays with you. It makes you wonder what other hidden gems are out there, waiting to be found. The Blue Grotto. What if you could visit a place where the sea itself seems to glow, lighting up the dark, hidden corners of a cave? That is exactly the feeling that you will have in the Blue Grotto, a sea cave along the coast of Capri in Italy. It is a natural wonder, an area where light from the sun turns the water into a beautiful blue, resulting in a surreal atmosphere. Let's look at what makes this cave so special. The Blue Grotto is roughly 25 meters wide and 60 meters long, but what really makes it memorable is the lighting. In the cave's underwater section, sunlight filters through a tiny aperture. The entire cavern is filled with a stunning, glowing blue as the light reflects off the water below. The effect is almost magical, and it is what draws people from all over the world to see it. But getting to the Blue Grotto is not as simple as just walking in. The cave's entrance is only about 2 meters wide and just over a meter high at low tide. This means the tide has to be low and the sea calm for visitors to safely enter. Once the conditions are right, you have to lie flat in a small rowboat, usually with only 3 or 4 people. The boatman uses a metal chain to guide the boat inside, pulling it along the walls of the cave. It's a slow, quiet ride, but once inside, the sight is worth it. Inside the cave, there is more to explore. At the back, there are 3 smaller passages leading to a room known as the Room of Names. This space got its name from the many signatures left by visitors over the centuries. The cave also has a few passages that lead deeper into the cliffs, though these are less visited. The Blue Grotto has a rich history too. Back in Roman times, it was used by Emperor Tiberius as his private swimming hole. He moved to Capri in 27 AD and made the cave a part of his luxurious lifestyle. Tiberius even decorated the grotto with statues of sea gods like Neptune and Triton. Some of these statues were recovered from the cave in 1964 and can now be seen in a museum in Anacapri. However, not everything about the grotto is as peaceful as it looks. In 2011, a visitor was seriously injured while entering the cave. It was later determined that the boatman had taken the risk of entering the cave when the sea was too rough. Because of this, swimming in the grotto is now forbidden, as the waters can be dangerous if the conditions aren't just right. The Blue Grotto is a place where nature and history meet. In addition to being a serene and lovely location, it has an air of mystery that leaves a lasting impression. Before we continue with the rest of the video, here is the subscriber's pick for today. In this incredible image, we see 2 divers exploring a mysterious underwater world. The cave is full of rocky walls and sand, giving it a quiet, mysterious feel. Below them lies a massive skeleton of what seems to be an ancient marine creature. The smaller inset image shows what appears to be prehistoric cave paintings, possibly created by early humans, showcasing animals like horses and other wildlife. Researchers discovered a 100,000-year-old underwater cave that predates the Ice Age. This means the cave and everything inside it existed long before massive ice sheets covered the Earth. The skeleton might be from a creature that lived on dry land, and the cave drawings suggest that humans were there, leaving behind stories of their lives. Discoveries like this make us wonder how much of our history is hidden underwater. What else could be waiting to be found in these submerged caves? If you had the chance to explore an underwater cave like this, would you? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. And just when you think you have seen all there is to see, a completely different kind of underground world is waiting. Hang Son Doong. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to step into a cave so massive that an entire city block, complete with skyscrapers, could fit inside? Or imagine a place where the ceilings are so high, a Boeing 747 could fly through without its wings touching the sides. This is Hang Son Doong, the world's largest cave by volume. Located on the Laos-Vietnam border, Hang Son Doong is unlike your average cave. It dwarfs other caves due to its immense size. There is a fast-moving underground river within the roughly 9-kilometer-long cave. However, its size is what distinguishes it. The Vietnamese translation of the cave's name, Hang Son Doong, is Cave of the Mountain River, or Cave of Mountains Behind Doong, which provides an indication of its surroundings. The cave is a true ancient wonder, with an estimated age of 2 to 5 million years. Inside are some of the world's tallest known formations, including towering stalagmites that can grow up to 80 meters in height. Sunlight enters the cave through 2 sizable dolines, which are places where the cave roof has fallen. With trees and plants growing within, this sunshine has transformed portions of the cave into a flourishing ecosystem, forming an environment that is unlike anything you would expect to see in a cave. In 2019, it was found that Hang Thung, another neighboring cave, is connected to the subterranean river of Hang Son Doong. Despite its awe-inspiring beauty, Hang Son Doong is not easy to visit. Tours to the cave only started in 2013, and the cost for one of these guided tours is high, around $3,000 per person. There are only limited permits available, and they are given out from January to August. After that, heavy rains make the river rise, and the cave becomes mostly inaccessible until the next dry season. For a while, there were even plans to build a cable car system through the cave, stretching 10.5 kilometers long. The proposed project was estimated to cost between $111 and $211 million, but it faced fierce opposition from both environmentalists and locals. They were worried that mass tourism would harm the delicate cave environment and the surrounding area. In the end, the plans were cancelled, preserving the cave's natural beauty. Hang Son Doong may seem like it's too much to take in, but there is another cave where the walls are lined with something truly unique. The Shell Grotto. The Shell Grotto in Margate, England, is a unique underground space. This place is mysterious and unlike anything else. The walls and ceiling hold intricate mosaics. These artworks consist entirely of seashells, with over 4.6 million shells, creating designs across 2,000 square feet. The grotto feels like stepping into a different world. The patterns and symbols are strange, and some even appear to resemble animals, like a crocodile, owl, or turtle, and one even looks like a skeleton. The designs have a mysterious feel, and they remind some people of artwork from ancient India or Egypt. The grotto was first found in 1835. People were not allowed to visit until 1837. Following this, it quickly became popular with tourists. Many have wondered about its origins since that time. The truth is, nobody knows exactly who created it or why. Determining the age of the grotto is difficult. Gas lamps used during Victorian times complicate getting an accurate carbon date. Trying to date the mortar binding the shells gave few answers. It was made from fish-based materials. Unclear answers led to various theories. Some think ancient civilizations like the Phoenicians or Romans built it. Others imagine the Knights Templar or mystics and magicians from the 18th or 19th century made it. Nobody knows for sure. This mystery is part of the grotto's charm. One clear fact stands despite its mysterious origins: the Shell Grotto is art that should be preserved. Whether it served as an ancient temple or a peculiar underground room, the grotto is a unique creation. It showcases creativity and mystery. These qualities shine through vividly. If the Shell Grotto feels full of secrets, there is a cave elsewhere where dark tunnels glow with strange, otherworldly light. The Waitomo glowworm caves. In the center of New Zealand's North Island lies a place that seems to be from another world. The Waitomo glowworm caves are famous for glowworms. They light up the dark limestone caves with a soft, bluish-green glow. These glowworms are called Arachnocampa luminosa. They live only in New Zealand. Thousands call this cave system home, creating a surreal, starry effect in the dark. The glow remains constant, day or night. The caves feel like a scene from a dream. The name of the caves comes from the Maori language, meaning water passing through a hole. This makes sense, as water has shaped these caves over millions of years. The region is known for its limestone caves, with around 300 different caves discovered so far. These caves began to form over 30 million years ago, when the area was still underwater. The limestone here is made up of fossilized marine life, like corals, seashells, and fish skeletons. Over time, these fossils were layered and compressed to form the thick limestone that we see today. Some of the limestone in the area can be as thick as 200 meters. While the glowworms are the star attraction, the caves are also home to other creatures. You will find insects like albino cave ants and giant crickets. These creatures have adapted to the dark, humid environment of the caves. The walls of the caves are also covered in various fungi, including a mushroom-like fungus known as the cave flower. It's part of a group of fungi related to the common oyster mushroom. But the caves don't stop impressing there. Inside, you will find amazing rock formations like stalactites and stalagmites, which have formed over thousands of years. Some of these formations have unusual shapes, and the caves are named after them. For instance, there is a formation called the organ that looks like a church organ. Other areas are named the bride's jewels and the blanket chamber, each with their own unique features. These caves are a beautiful reminder of nature's power, and each step is much more than just a visit. You are exploring a living piece of history. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.